Thank you for joining us. I'm Jamie DeBree, and today we're talking with C.S. Daley, author of The Shadow Man and A Very Zombie Holiday. Welcome, Mr. Daley.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Tell us, how did you get started writing?
My writing has had two distinct starting points. Many years ago I actively pursued a career in comic books. I was pumping out comic scripts on a regular basis. I got really close to breaking through. I didn't realize this until many years later when I was talking with someone in the industry about all the nice letters I had from editors. I was young and had no experience. I didn't know not getting any form letters meant they had taken an interest. At the same time I was doing work at a local newspaper covering sports for them. I hated working there. This didn't last long. After about 5 years of beating on doors I ran out of steam. I decided every teacher who had ever told me I couldn't write must have been correct. Stupid really, since a newspaper was publishing me with regularity at the time. I walked away. Got a job as a teacher and then tormented myself for years about walking away. I finally got back around to writing and produced some very average young adult books. I also started and stopped about at brilliant novels.
Sounds frustrating.
It was 2 years ago when I started blogging just to have an outlet which involved words. Then I got really lucky. Two brilliant musicians, Zoe Keating and Kim Bookbinder, convinced me I was being an idiot not pursuing what I loved. Since then I have written every day. Completed over 1,000 blogs and more importantly 3 novels and a short story collection.
Wow, you've come a long way. How did you choose what genre to write, or did it choose you?
All 3 of my novels are fantasy. I like the freedom of creating worlds. It's what I read growing up. I always knew I would be a fantasy writer. The first short story I wrote was way back in 3rd grade and it was fantasy. I don't think I will ever be a writer who does the traditional Tolkien type of fantasy. I write with a darker mentality. My young adult book, The Shadow Man, was actually an attempt to write a horror fantasy novel for teens which actually involved some horror. My short story collection is about a zombie dad. Even though it sounds like it is horror, it is really a funny, sad, love story. I'm a little mixed up when it comes to my genre.
I think mixing genres is becoming more popular these days. Tell us a little about your writing process. How do you get from idea to completed story?
I let stories bounce around in my head for a long time before I start writing them. I do a lot of outlining without ever committing any words to paper. Once I have the basic form in my head, I usually will start writing when a really startling image takes over the story. In the case of my 3 novels, it was the ending of each book which got me going. I wrote towards the image of the ending. All 3 endings changed by the time I got there, but it was the jumping off point. As far as the process, I sit and write a minimum of 1,000 words a day until the book is done. I have found the no excuse method of writing is the only one which works for me. I have written 1,000 words with a splitting migraine. I have written while on vacation. Once the book starts, I go every day until it is done.
Sounds like it takes a lot of determination. What are some of your favorite authors to read?
I am a huge George R.R. Martin fan. He changed what the epic fantasy looked like for me. I also could not live without a steady dose of Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, F. Paul Wilson, Ian Rankin, Robert Cray, John Scalzi. I could go on and on and on. Like every writer I know, I am an avid reader.
That's quite a list. What are some of your other interests?
I like to read and play video games. Hang out with my wife and kittens. When I am being good, I like to jog, but sometimes my body refuses to cooperate on that one. I am a huge musical geek and we make a fairly regular trip to New York every year to get a Broadway fix. I listen to a ton of music. I have a few musician friends and think I secretly harbor a desire to be a rock star. Sadly, I couldn't sing or play an instrument.
I think we all harbor rock star fantasies at some point. How do you balance writing with the other aspects of your life?
Right now I don't think I am doing a good enough job at this. I teach all day. Come home, spend some time with my wife and then write well into the night. I am seriously sleep deprived. Especially lately, as I try to wrap up a bunch of projects I am working on. I did finally have to step away from blogging every day. I have been doing some writing for other websites and I was burning myself out. I plan on getting a lot better at this next year.
Who is your favorite literary character or couple?
Hands down it is Repairman Jack by F. Paul Wilson. I love the character. I love the way Mr. Wilson bounces around between suspense, horror, mystery. If I create even one character half as badass as Repairman Jack, I will die a happy man.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell us?
I love writing and I know that even if I don't make a dime at it, I will continue to do it the rest of my life. It is the one thing I am always trying to convince my young students about. If you love something, keep doing it. Keep working at it and don't ever let anyone convince you to stop.
Thank you so much for being here today, Mr. Daley, and good luck with your books. The Shadowman and a Very Zombie Holiday are available at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. For more information and to connect with Mr. Daley, please visit csdaily.com. Thanks again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.